Guys, it just happened again, and I truly can't make this stuff up, right? So, once again, we have another specimen of the male variety who, less than 10 minutes ago, stops his car in the middle of the road. When I'm telling people, because I say this to both men and women, and no one ever believes me that this stuff happens, because I've even said to people, like, every 3 days or so, this happens, yeah? No one believes me. But here we are. This is why I'm going to start documenting some of these things more. Then you guys can do the averaging for yourself. But anyway, I have to share this experience because it was really wholesome. Yeah. So this guy stops his van and I'm thinking, ain't no way, because I've just been having a conversation with the Lord. I've gone out during the sunset, right? It's like nearly 9 p.m. I've gone out during the sunset. I wanted to go to Asda because they've got these really nice sardines with lemon and herb. This lemon and herb oil that they are in the can, and I loved me a canned fish, by the way, guys. And I put them in the fridge so they're like cold, and I eat them with cold vegetables in the middle of the night. I'm such a freak, I know. Anyway, so I've gone there to get these, yeah, and also to get some fresh air. Because I needed it and I'd finally done everything I needed to do. I'm on my way back. I'm talking to the Lord throughout the whole time. And I was just in a bad state. And I was just saying to God, like, God, please, I need your help because I'm so just like, I feel just, I was feeling horrible, basically. I've just been feeling a bit horrible. I was feeling really emotional. So my period is here. Yeah, yippee-ki-yay. So I'm bloated. I feel fat and disgusting. Like, ugh, it's a horrible time. So I'm going through all of this and I'm now giving myself up like, okay, I need to wrap this up soon because the sun is setting and I'm trying to be responsible and not be out late these days. Anyway, so as I'm walking and this guy stops in his car and he's like, hey, and he has this huge grin on his face and it was so cute. This is what I'm saying, it's so sweet anyway. But this is a grown man, right? This is a grown man, like, that I'm saying. But it was the look on his face, right? So I was just thinking, oh my gosh, here we go again. And it's different, like I said, because a lot of guys, there's the difference. There's like literally just two categories. Everything, there's like two categories. There's a lot of guys who just have this other like disgusting look on their face when they look at you, and then they wonder why the second they start talking to you, you're not interested in them already. And it's like, sir, look at the state of your face. Like, so I'm looking at this guy and it's always the cute face, right? So he's just there smiling in his van, right? In his work clothes. So he's like, hey, and starts trying to speak to me and whatever. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, you're in the middle of the road. Like, and I'm like, in the middle of the road right now. And he's just like laughing by it. And I was just like, this is insane. So anyway, we get into the whole long conversation. We end up talking for ages, you know, and he's like, you know, and then obviously he does the usual, do you want me to drop you off? And I'm like, no, trust me, I need this time out. I've come out for a reason. I don't know why they're always offering to drop me off. This is what I'm saying. It's crazy. And anyway, starts asking me these questions, and the thing that gets me in these conversations is actually the facial expression, I have to admit, because they just look so sweet and welcoming, and they're being so nice that I'm just like, oh, I can't be a horrible woman now. You know what I mean? At the very least, I should have a conversation. Anyway, so we get to talking about a bunch of things. Yes, this is happening in the middle of the road. But in fairness, where he was, and also for those of you who live outside the UK, if you've never been to the United Kingdom, right, you might not know this, but a lot of places where people park are not necessarily things you'd think are places to park, especially like what do you call them? I can't remember the English or the American term for it. Like on the pavement, what do you guys call those? Sidewalks and things like that, and you park like half on, half off. So where he was, it wasn't the worst spot ever, right? But he was still very much in the middle of the road, and he reversed his whole car because he was again ahead, and then he's come and reversed back, and he was like, hey, can I talk to you quickly? And I was just like, oh my god, this is where we're going. But anyway, the long and short of it is he was a really sweet man. Like, he was really sweet, and he said some things, and this is why I'm bringing it up to you guys, because like some of the things that the like conversation we were having reminds me of so many conversations I have like this, and why I have so much fury for how the world is and like the state of the world, because he's asking me, what do I do for a living? I'm asking what he does for a living. And then, you know, he immediately, and they all do this, he immediately is like, oh wow, that's such a good job. I was never really good in school. In fact, I dropped out. And it was so funny that he said that, because I actually gave a student the other day the advice to drop out of uni, ironically, or to drop out of school, because I felt like, because he was basically explaining how since he was like really young, he's been working as none other than obviously in doing every single trade you can imagine. So he's there looking at me as if I've done something so incredible because I teach people that all the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Whoopity whoop. Most of the people aren't even going to remember it. Most of the people aren't even going to use it when they leave. Most of the people don't even do well. And he's telling me that he does every single trade under the sun. I was like, what do you not do? Oh, I do carpentry, I do electricity, I do flooring, I also do this, I also do this, construction. And I was just like, what? How do you know how to do all these things, right? But then obviously he's being self-deprecating, which again, these are the things that make me feel more like talking to them, because I'm like, you're so humble, but you need to not be so humble, because you actually would have more of a right to have pride because you've actually done something, you're actually doing something. But these are the humble guys. That's what I'm saying. I can't make this stuff up. This happened 10 minutes ago. I won't even get into where this man is from. I don't want to tell you where he's from, right? Because this is the last you're going to hear about this, just so you know. I'm not going to tell you where he's from, but I couldn't work out where he was from, basically, by looking at him, because he was just one of those people. You know how some people have a really ambiguous look to them where you couldn't pinpoint them in the world necessarily anywhere? Yeah, but then there's certain places that he's definitely not from. So, like, he's definitely not, like, for example, African looking, and he's definitely not, say, Indian or, like, darker skinned, right? Anyway, so, anywho. So we're having this conversation, and when he tells me the places in the world that he's from, oh my gosh, he got me in hook, line, and sinker, because I was like, you're from where? And I've never spoken to a guy from this place. And this is why they fascinate me, all these guys. I'm like, you're from where? I've never, ever met somebody from this place, yeah, in the world, but it's somewhere we all very much know. I'll tell you that. And it's one of these countries, of the very many countries that are on the world stage as far as war. All I'll say is it's one of those, okay? The countries in the world, and think of all the different wars, by the way. If all the different wars is one of those countries. So I was just looking at this guy thinking, I would love to know how you ended up here doing this here. And he's just there cheesing, like, would you like to go for coffee? Is that something you'd like to do? I'd like to take you to dinner, whatever. And the reason I'm telling you guys this all, A, is to give myself timestamps for you all to see that I don't make this stuff up, although I don't tell you all the time. But this one I had to tell you because it's just as I was coming down, and it's just as I said, this, the car's in the road. He doesn't live around here. He lives in London. He's just down here for one of his jobs that he has to do. So this is what happens as well with a lot of them. They're not from here. That's the crazy part. Because I'm like, how do I end up knowing guys from all over the place? It's because this place, like, it's not far from a lot of other major areas. So it's always these working men who for some reason have got to be here or come through here that I'm having these experiences with. So he's like, yeah, no, I live in London, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I was thinking, this is insane. But a reason why I wanted to mention this, just to say, is like, this is what makes me upset. Like, it's these experiences. It's like working with the kids. It's like having like the experiences of seeing them and them doing their best, and like them being so like earnest and like honest and like just pure hearted, right? I know it's a wild that I would describe a lot of these guys as pure of heart, but like, to me, pure of heart doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be pure in all of your actions. It means that you have a pure soul, like you have pure intentions, right? And so, you know, and he was even apologizing, like, sorry, I'm a bit dirty because I was at work. I was like, sir, do not apologize. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, do not apologize. It was really upsetting me. Like, these things, they really upset me, because I'm like, how is it that we have built a world where it's such a lovely guy like this and all these lovely guys, right, really working hard, you know, whatever. And again, they're all the single ones, might I add as well. They're all single and they're not in any messy, weird whatevers, or at least they've exited those if they were. And he's like, all I do, and they all say the same thing, all I do is wake up, go to work, and come home, and that's what I do every day. And it just it bewilders me. It is one of the most fascinating things I think about them. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like we need to spice up their lives a little bit. You know what I'm saying? This is what I've been thinking in my head. I'm like, is that all you do every day? Like, come on now. But you know, and for him to think like in his head and the way we built everything. And then he was telling me how he speaks 5 languages. 5. And they're not like the classic, some of them are and some of them are not. They're from all over the world. When he was telling me some of these languages, I was like, you couldn't even pinpoint if he was part of any religion, because he's speaking like, he could be this, he could be that, I don't know what he is. But yet he's the one beating himself up. He's the one beating himself up. He's the one who doesn't think what he's doing is that valuable. And he even said something which I thought was so precious and sweet, right? He was like, but do you know what you do is similar to what I do. You know, you help people. And I always feel so proud of myself after I finished a job and I can see that the people are happy. And I was just like, you're so sweet. That's what I'm saying. Why am I going to waste my time with the rest of you bitter riffraff, you people who are just so ugly in spirit when I'm having these experiences? I'm just walking back. I'm feeling horrible. And now I'm here giggling, feeling cute all of a sudden. I was feeling like a walrus about 5 minutes, literally not even 5 minutes before this happens. I was there, standing there talking to the Lord. I was looking at the sunset and thinking, God, I just feel like, you know what I'm saying? Part of that is also the period thing, and then the bloating, and then the woman things. And thinking, when I get back, I need to wash my hair again because I've washed it. I don't know if you guys can tell, I actually dyed it. I need to wash my hair again because I've decided anyway, not important. And so I'm just here, just in my head at this point, I'm like, just get back, just take a breather when you get back. And I bought the other sardines, so I'm going to have to make up my own concoction of the lemon herb oil to put in the sardines because it's just too good. Listen, guys, go and get it from Asda. It's if you're into that kind of thing. Anyway, and so I'm just walking there, and he's just like, again, not understanding why I'm just walking, because they're always wondering why I'm just walking and why, like, I need a ride. I'm like, I don't need a ride. I came out walking on purpose. But it's sweet that they ask, you know what I mean, and that they're concerned. And he's like, are you sure you don't need a ride? Are you sure you don't need a ride? I really don't mind. It's fine. Even though he just told me it's 9 p.m. He still has to take all the stuff in his van back to the next place, to his colleague, whatever place he's got to take it to from the job he just did, because he needs his van to be clean and clear for the job he has to do tomorrow. And you, in the midst of all of this, at the end of your day, it's 9 p.m. You've been working the entire day, and now you want to go and drop me off wherever I'm going. Absolutely no. But I appreciate the effort. And this is what I'm saying, guys. This is why, these are the experiences, why I've been saying long live the patriarchy. Because I can't deny that this is the stuff that happens, and I can't pretend that these types of men don't exist out there. And I don't know a lot about the guy. I just know how nice he was being, how sweet he was, and how he was really just like, and the thing that, like I said, upset me is him trying to be like, as if his job, I'm better off because I'm more intelligent. I'm like, excuse me? I teach like teenagers. This isn't a big deal. Like, I teach children. It's not that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? And whatever. And it's just funny because there's many times I've met, I now say, he even mentioned, when he mentioned about dropping out, I was like, there's many, and he says to me, I was never good in school because I just had too much energy in it. And I was like, I know. In my head, I'm thinking, I know, because this is what I'm thinking when I'm looking at these young men as well in school. And I'm thinking, you are not supposed to be here sitting in this chair for the next 6 to 8 hours. That's not going to be beneficial. I get why in my head, those are the kids I'm thinking they should drop out. And because in my head, I'm thinking of this guy, I'm like, are you hiring? Because there's a couple of people I could send your way who could do with some, you know what I mean? Some experience, because now he's found something he's good at. He's learned everything on the job. And again, he's just proven again, like, why. So I'm saying I love these experiences because it reaffirms. I was feeling like, just before all of this, I was feeling with so much regret. Like, I was thinking about all the things I regret from this year. I was feeling regret about the videos I even uploaded today. I was so overwhelmed with just feeling so bad with myself about everything. I was regretting literally everything I've been doing. And I was thinking, God, I just want to quit everything. So the fact for him to be saying all this stuff and it's like reaffirming everything that I actually think was really also, I feel like God allowing these things to happen for me. And I do believe, I know as wild as you might think that it is, this is why I think you guys are too much in a box. But, the Lord trusts me, I feel like, this is why these things happen. I believe this is why I have these interactions all the time, because I be having these conversations and I be hearing the same thing over and over again from real life people and from real life actual men out there. And they're from all over the world. This is the point. All over the world, from all over the world, from every different race, every different age, whatever. You've seen it. And I'm telling you now. And I'm like, I'm not the crazy one here. Because what is he feeling sorry for? What is he apologizing for? Who cares that you've been at work? Do you know what I mean? Like, you were working. Why are you apologizing for the way that you're dressed? You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Why are you apologizing for your job and whatever? Oh, I don't really do that much. I just do this. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? So it really upsets me, you know, this stuff. It really upsets me that we've really created this world where the freaking egomaniac, buffoon idiots who are usually perverts themselves anyways, and they're usually the creepazoids, we put on these pedestals and get all this acknowledgement and get to be seen for having these fancy jobs at this fancy this, right? And guys like him who could basically do anything and everything. I've never met a guy who can do all of the different disciplines as casually as he mentioned it. He's like, yeah, I also do locks as well. I also do this. Yeah, and I also do this and I do none. And I was just like, how? I want to know what your 24 hours has looked like for the past however many years that you got to this stage of just being able to do all these things. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of it all, at the end of his day, you see how at the end of his day, it's 9 o'clock. He's still not even finished work. He's not being like a lot of the adult population today. Oh, my life is so hard from sitting on my ass all day in the office and just eating all the snacks that we get for free to keep us in bondage. He's smiling. He's happy. He's, you know, I mean, he's being so pleasant. He's all trying to do extra. And I'm always the one. It's always me, by the way, who I've told you guys, I don't ask them for anything. I don't ask them for a single thing. It's always me having to tell them, you can't do that. You can't do that. Like, you need to slow down. Like, you know what I mean? Because you're already doing so much. You know what I mean? You just met me, you know, or whatever. And so it really, this is why it upsets me. This is exactly why. This is a perfect depiction. That's why I came on here to tell you guys before I prepped my sardines, because I need to go and prep those so they can sit in the fridge for a couple of hours and marinate. I really wanted to have those. I'm really sad. And you guys know what it's like when you're on your period and you finally think of the one thing you actually really want to eat and then you can't have it. It's like the worst thing. You know, so I'm like here thinking, you know, look at him, bless his heart. Bless his heart. And he's like, goodbye, it was so nice to meet you. So polite. And the way I'm doing their voice is not how they sound. He's a grown man. He's got a deep voice. You know what I mean? Also, he was really handsome, by the way. Did I forget to mention that? He was really handsome, right? He had these cute dimples that were like sitting just like above his beard while he was smiling the whole time. It was the cutest thing ever. And that's why these are the people that soften my heart, right? These guys, the kids, those are the people softening my heart. You guys here at the winning team women, I should call it the winning team women, right? You guys are the ones who soften my heart and then make me feel like, you know what, Lord, let me give relationships a chance and let me believe in this and the positive things and all of this, right? Because I'm feeling warm and fuzzly myself. I was all there feeling upset and crying and like to the Lord and crying out. And then the next thing now I'm just feeling, because it's so cute, you know, the way this guy was being. But then, and this is what I was thinking about, I was talking about this with the Lord just beforehand about how I'm really going to make sure that I'm going to divide my energy well. And if the people that like him and others, the winning team women and the kids, yeah, the soft, nice version of me, everybody else is getting the cold-hearted version of me, because I'm not wasting my energy. See what I'm saying? Why would I waste my energy on the riffraff of the world? Why would I waste my energy on people who are just going to act up and be bitter and vindictive? Why am I going to waste my energy on the losers of the world when I could be spending it with the winners? Because I was thinking, you won? What do you mean? I'm thinking you've won already, like, as he is. Because what else does he need in life? He's done everything. He's figured everything out from himself. He was like, yeah, I'm self-employed. I always wanted to be a business owner. I always did this. And I was like, and you've done the damn thing. You've done the damn thing. I'm feeling like, oh gosh, I've not got my life, because they all make me feel like I've not got my life together at all, by the way. Just like to add that part in there. They all make me feel like I've not got my life together. And actually being around their energy makes me more productive, because then I'm like, I'm not, and now I feel like I'm the one who's letting the side down, because you guys are all out here working hard and doing extra, and I'm just here, just, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm not twiddling my thumbs, obviously, but I feel like it in comparison to how much they're doing, and I'm thinking, wow, and it's really inspirational, and it kind of inspires me the same way that the Lord does, like, and I feel like this is how the dynamic is supposed to work, you know what I mean? But anyway, I'll leave it there. But yeah, can you believe it? Can you believe we've added another country to the list? I'm gonna buy one of those maps, those world maps. I'm gonna start scraping out the countries, because it's so fascinating. And then I get to learn about their whole world history, because then they know the history of the country that they come from. And then I get to learn, oh, it's so good. And it's just like being in school again. And this is what I'm saying. This is what it's like being in school with the Lord. Like, literally, the school of the Lord is in the world. He's taking me out and doing stuff. And I'm just out and about and I'm just having these experiences, you know, and it's great. It's really great. So yeah, that's what happened. Bless his heart, absolute sweetheart, absolute sweetie. And obviously you're not going to hear anything to do with this guy ever again, because I'm not obviously going to tell you. I'm telling you guys these things so that you're aware that A, it's real, and B, you can have some framework as to why I feel the way I feel. I spend my whole day, like, you know, when I'm in my job with the kids and seeing everything that's going on with them. And then it's always when I'm spending time with the Lord that these men are just popping up, and it's always in the car, and it's always stopping on the road. And the reason it's always on the road is because I try to take all the routes that avoid people. So the only times that I'm on the road is any time that I have no option but to walk on the road. And that's why it's always happening that way. And so predominantly, since I'm avoiding people, the only two communities I mainly spend a lot of time with is those two communities, because otherwise I'm exhausted of it all. You know what I mean? I'm exhausted with everything. I'm exhausted in this spiritual battle. And now I'm seeing why I feel the way that I feel now about so many things. Because again, it happened. And when he stopped the van, he was like, can I talk to you for a second? I literally was like, ain't no way this is happening to me right now. Again. Ain't no freaking way. Anyway, I'm going to go off and prep my sardines. This is how you guys should know I'm dedicated. This could have been an extra 20 minutes. They could have been marinating, but I came here to talk to you guys because I love you. But yeah, so there you go. I just thought I would share that with you because it's just funny. And I don't make this stuff up. I know people think... So I said I can't wait for Judgment Day for us to see who was telling the truth and who wasn't. Anyways, you guys, if life's a game, let's play to win. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. I'll see you in my next one.